You're listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Cult of Campbell. I'm Ty.
I'm Eric.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Ursa.
And today, Campbellites, we have a very interesting film for you. We are doing The Dead Next Door.
Dun, dun, dun.
An all-time classic.
Oh, yes, a classic. It was directed by J.R. Bookwalter, produced by J.R. Bookwalter, written by
Who?
J.R. Bookwalter.
No shit.
I know. Starring Pete Ferry, Bogdan. Boy, Bruce Campbell does the voice of some of these characters. It was actually released in 1989. As a matter of fact.
Nice.
Yes. So it's as old as I am.
Ooh,
There
classic.
you have it. Oh yeah.
This is an interesting movie.
So what's so special about this one?
So Bruce Campbell is technically in it as he dubs the voice of the lead and one of the,
That's
the
right.
villains.
Yes, he dubs the voice of Raimi and
Ooh.
another character named Carpenter.
Ooh.
Yes, they're very clever with the names.
Yeah,
we
how
come to find out.
clever. Ooh. These are horror people in a horror movie.
Who the thunk it?
But he does appear on screen though for a brief second,
Oh yes,
which
he
we'll get
does.
into in the next segment. I think it's time to get groovy.
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. It's time for ACTION. Join the Cult of Campbell. Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my boomstick.
Okay, so this was everyone here's first time seeing this movie.
Yes.
Yep.
Ian, what was your first impression?
Jesus. Look, I don't know. Okay, this movie came out in 1989/1990,
Mhm.
depending on.
On who you ask, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
You know.
It looks like it's from the 70s, and not like a good, well-shot movie of the 70s. It looks like one of those like super low budget, like we got to turn one of these out so we can show it at the Grindhouse Theater kind of movies.
Yeah.
Like, boy, the quality on this looked like butt, and everything else followed suit.
What do you think, Ty? What was your first
Oh.
impression?
Yeah, this was definitely some no budget trash. I'm the first time, like this is the first time I ever watching this movie. I've known about this movie for years because I remember when I was a kid, like really young, I remember the poster for this because the video store I used to go to, they had a horror section,
Uh-huh.
which I would always frequent. And they had 3 posters hanging up in the horror section. They had the Ghoulies, which I think Ghoulies was the monsters coming out of the toilet.
Oh,
It had
Yeah,
a
it was
poster.
like a Gremlins clone.
Yeah, it had the Ghoulies. It had a poster for Dead Alive, the Peter Jackson zombie film. And then it had this poster for The Dead Next Door, like hanging up behind the shelves. And I always remember the poster because it's like a zombie with like a cage over its mouth.
The
So-
zombie muzzle.
Yeah, I've known about it for years. I just never watched it because I just tell what it was.
Yeah.
But I just never felt compelled to really watch it. Like I like garbage movies, but I have standards. I have a very particular taste when it comes to garbage films.
He's very specific about his
Yeah.
garbage. What did you think about this, Ursa?
Well, initially we were looking for another movie, and then we came across this, and we were trying to figure out if Bruce Campbell was actually in it.
That's true. We did
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
we did have a hard time
Yeah, 'cause-
verifying for a moment.
When you search Bruce Campbell movies on Tubi, this comes up. But everything we looked, there was no picture of Bruce Campbell.
Right. So then I watched a little bit of the trailer, and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, we
You were a
have to
huge
watch
you
this."
push. Yeah, you put threw your weight around. You wanted to watch this.
Really twisted our arms.
I like garbage movies, and I don't have standards.
Uh,
So this was my first time seeing this or even honestly hearing about it beforehand, I wonder why they had Bruce Campbell dub in these voices.
I don't know.
Instead of the characters that were playing them. But
That is such an odd question. I gotta believe that because we know that because even Sam Raimi allegedly produced this, and he's the executive producer on this is the Master Cylinder, which I guess is Sam Raimi's alias, or like a nickname. Yeah, the Master Cylinder. Yeah. So he went, and I gotta imagine like they looked at the movie like nobody's gonna watch this.
Right.
So their idea was let's put Bruce Campbell's name on it. He'll just dub in the voices.
Okay.
That's what I got him. I got to imagine it was some kind of like marketing thing. Like, you know, how are we gonna market this garbage zombie movie?
I've got a burning question, and that's why Sam Raimi wouldn't want to put his real name on this.
Right. That's right. Right. Why?
Well, you couldn't tell?
Yeah.
Why don't you enlighten us, Ian?
Jesus Christ. Okay, so the movie opens up strong by having just a ridiculous amount of opening credits playing over, I guess, a scene establishing a plot where Dr. Bo, who is frequently mentioned throughout the movie, is being besieged with his daughters with him or some shit, and then there's some things charging in POV at the door, and you're like, zombies, but no, it's people. Yeah. It's a group of fucking high school deer hunters. Is what they look like, but they're super threatening.
A couple of rednecks.
And you can totally see the cameraman's shadow.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
No. It's the shadow of one of the kids.
A technical error in this film?
But yeah, so they break in and then they're like attacking the doctor or something. I barely remember. It was so long ago. And then the doctor, because some youths broke into his home, it starts the zombie apocalypse, I guess. In Akron, Ohio.
Yep.
And we retreated that wild opening montage of
the single best part of this fucking movie is this opening credit sequence where zombies are just taking over all of Akron, and they clearly just had like 1 or 2 days where they got a shitload of people together, put them in zombie makeup, and we're like, all right, we're just gonna film some shit.
Oh yeah, it's much like random bits. Like there's a video store scene where like the store clerk is like behind the desk, and like you see a pair of hands coming. They put some tapes on there, and there's like Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, and all these zombie movies. It looks up, and it's a bunch of zombies, and there's some weird stuff. But you can tell this is like one of those scenes where they probably got like, you know, the town was like super enthusiastic. We're making a movie in Akron. And, Hollywood comes to Akron.
And
like,
to be fair,
you see it's like on the news.
They looked like they were having a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was probably a blast to shoot that. But that's the best part of the movie.
Was there a budget for this? Do we know what the budget was on this?
I don't know.
There's a budget.
There's no budget listed.
They had I loved the shot of the zombie like getting into the telephone booth and like starting to
call something.
I know, like what is going on?
It's estimated that the film cost $125,000 to produce.
Bullshit.
I don't know. Maybe.
There were some pretty decent practical effects in here.
And it was produced over 4 years.
I believe that.
Yeah. So we get most of that $125,000 on screen right here at the beginning. And then
there's some weird stuff in the beginning of that. That cuts to a few years later.
In
West Virginia.
So it spread. It got out of Akron. Who fucking knew that was?
And we're totally not still in Akron.
And
totally not.
We are introduced to our quote unquote heroes of the movie, the Zombie Squad. An elite unit, according to the movie description, of zombie fighting soldiers.
Yeah.
So they pull up. It looks like if you took the Ghostbusters car,
exactly. That's what I thought.
All the interesting shit off, and then spray painted it black, and then put a real shitty logo on the door.
That's your zombie squad mobile.
So they pull up, and they are dressed in janitor's jumpsuits with badges and patches haphazardly slapped on.
Very poorly sewn on.
All of them are holding so fucking many guns.
It's like the worst guns too for like a zombie apocalypse. Like, how are they got this bolt action?
Yeah.
Well,
Bold action in a house with zombies.
like Raimi runs around with this like M16 on his back, like for the majority of the movie,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
don't think he
Yeah.
ever uses
I don't
it.
think he does either.
I think you're right.
Probably because
Yeah.
it was a shitty prop.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. So they go into the house, and then one of the dudes, whose name I'm not even going to bother to remember, so he's just dude
I don't
number
remember. I'm
one.
sure it was some
Yeah.
really clever
Yeah.
horror nod,
Oh, yeah, probably.
Myers or some shit.
Yeah. Voorhees.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go into the house, and then we see the same animatronic that pops up several times in this movie get decapitated. And we get several shots. It keeps cutting back to it of what is clearly the dummy torso and neck splurting blood, and then somebody putting their hands in front of it and just kind of waving them around. And not in like a way that looks good. It clearly looks like someone else's
Yeah,
hand.
you can tell
Yeah.
they're just like they're
Angle's
below
all wrong.
screen. They're
And they're
hitting
just
around.
sitting there, and this guy has like a fucking panic attack because he's like, the zombie's still trying to eat us, even though it doesn't have a head.
head. Why?
Like he wouldn't know already. So
Like
where
having a goddamn meltdown. This soldier on an elite squad that allegedly kills zombies is having
Allegedly,
a fucking
yeah.
meltdown.
He doesn't have a hand.
He doesn't. Where to go? Man? Yeah. So
So it's a surprise for us because it's true. It got shot in the head. It got its
Yeah.
head cut off. We're like,
Oh,
what kills
wait.
these zombies?
Yeah,
You're totally
but
glossing
he's-
over the first zombie, like the second zombie kill that Raimi does.
Oh, the
So,
grenade in the mouth.
Yeah, the most like
Oh,
the most like
yeah.
gratuitous, like it made it so much more complicated than it needed to be.
Yeah.
yep.
So
They've
like
all got guns.
Yeah. So
So
I mean,
after
Raimi
number
comes in
one
with a
is pinned
shotgun.
on the ground by a zombie.
he drops a grenade.
He drops a grenade. Raimi runs in. And he's like, "Hold on, dude."
sets his
And-
shotgun down.
Yep, sets his shotgun down, takes the grenade, puts it in the zombie's mouth, pulls the pin, struggles heartily getting the zombie over to the window, opens the window, and throws the zombie out of the window.
Why?
And it
Don't know.
explodes with a
And
nice
yep.
blood spatter effect on the camera.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
A
yeah.
very good, not at all fake looking effect.
Took a
then-
few thousand of that budget.
Yeah. So this guy's life gets saved, and then he's having a goddamn meltdown about the headless zombie. Apparently, this is his first time out, but they never said that. It just is implied, maybe.
We're assuming.
Or it's just shitty character writing. And then so that he calms down or something, probably. And then they're like, "Get your gun." And he's like, "Okie dokie." And his bolt action rifle is on the ground
Next to the severed zombie hand,
head.
which is still alive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is still
still
like chomping. He just freaked the fuck out about that. It's still going. And he reaches down. Here's the thing. Okay, Alien Apocalypse, every stupid decision was fun. In this movie, it was just frustrating.
It was very irritating.
It was like you couldn't have
Yeah.
written literally anything. Look, all this guy had to do was nudge the head or the gun 5 inches to the left or the right. And this could have been avoided. He puts his hand on the gun and he's feeling around like he didn't just find
He's
the
not
goddamn
even
gun.
looking at what he's
And
doing.
then the next shot,
The way it
is
was
him
shot.
just putting his fingers in his mouth when he already touched the gun, and then the next shot is him just being like, "What are these wet teeth feeling things?" And then he gets bit, and he gets
Yep.
his finger bit off. And then the second best part of the movie is we see the finger sliding out of the throat of the severed head.
Now that was a pretty
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah,
Yes.
like-
yeah. It
This-
like
yeah.
swallowed it and the fingers coming out at the bottom of the
Like-
Like one thing to this movie's credit is like the gore effects usually
Yeah.
pretty good.
They
That's
do a pretty good
clearly
job with
where
them.
the budget went.
They're definitely
Yeah.
super gross.
yeah.
Yeah, they did a really good job with the gore because it does have some really cool gore effects. But the way
Yeah.
that scene was shot, like with the head and the gun, like we know, like he chops the head off and we see the head laying at the bed. He's looking at the whole shot, but then when they shoot, when he's reaching for his gun, I think it's supposed to be implied that it's on the other side of the bed, maybe.
Yeah. and
Sort
then
of
he's
looks
just
like to
not
me.
looking
But
at-
Yeah.
but we see him looking at the zombie. He drops his gun by it, it falls. So we know that's not the.
right.
It was super weird,
Just
but
a weird. Yeah.
But the whole time this is going on, our one of our other characters, Mercer, just kind of wandered off into like wandered across the
Off
county
into the
side,
woods.
and
Oh,
he sees
yeah.
a single zombie wandering across the horizon,
Yep.
and his first instinct is to toss a grenade.
Which they have a lot of in this movie.
Yeah,
They do.
grenades are plenty in the apocalypse,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
he throws a grenade, and this is probably my favorite part of the movie. I think is when he throws a grenade. It like lands, it blows up the zombie, and then a horde of zombies comes right over the horizon.
Yeah, the crest
Yeah.
of the hell.
And have we mentioned who Bruce is yet?
Oh
No, so Raimi is a handsome, big-chinned man
Yes.
voiced by a handsomer, bigger-chinned man
Yes.
named Bruce Campbell.
That's right.
That's it. That's aside from a few seconds clip of Evil Dead that comes up later, and then his voice.
Yeah.
This is barely a Bruce Campbell movie.
No, but he's in it the whole time. He's the lead.
He voices the star.
He does.
And there's it's really weird because here later in the film, like toward the finale, there's some weird parts where like the actor portraying Raimi like kind of acts like Bruce Campbell a little bit. Like he has like that machismo that like
those poses with the gun that he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
They even give him some one.
so I wonder at what point the decision was made to like let's have Bruce Campbell voice this guy. I wonder if it was ever told this guy
I
like,
would
hey,
say
you're not-
sometime during the 4 years of production.
At some point.
Yeah.
I would say they needed more money. They didn't have the money.
Well, I
Yeah.
read that Sam Raimi used a portion of his Evil Dead 2 money to produce this EP. He executive produced it. So
Really?
So yeah.
Okay.
Well, the budget shows up in some places.
So
but-
it's really weird how we can even to talk about this movie. It's like we only focus on the Campbell portions of the films we do,
Right.
and Bruce is in it, but he's not in it. So it's a super bizarre movie to like
It
do.
is.
'Cause it's a Bruce Campbell movie only technically.
he's very similar to being the star.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
because we only get like Ian said, we do get one on screen appearance of Bruce.
Right.
So after this whole fuck up here, our main characters run back to Washington D.C., which was actually I'm surprised they got some of the shots they did because like they actually had zombie extras like in front of the White House
Right.
and at the reflecting pool
Like
and then
climbing the White House fence.
yeah.
I guess like things were a lot more lax like during like the Bush administration.
Maybe
I
so.
guess.
Or-
And they only had like 3 or 4 zombies in a shot at a time.
You know they
Right,
shot that
yeah.
like they shot that like in like 10 minutes. You
Okay,
get one
run
take,
across
do
the
it,
street.
do it.
Do it real quick. Okay.
Have you ever done fucking parking in DC? Jesus Christ.
Oh, geez, I hear just driving there is
Oh, it's
terrible.
fucking terrible.
Yeah,
Parking
horrible.
is horrible.
I went there once. I was I think it was 8th grade. My school took a trip to DC.
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah. We
Yeah.
did a 5th grade trip there. Yeah.
Gee, that's
Yeah.
great. Damn.
Yeah.
That was
Saw
a-
the monuments and stuff.
But yeah. So they make it to DC. Dude's dead, I think. Dude, the one dude died who got his hand
Yeah,
cut.
he.
Oh, yeah. They left him behind.
They left him behind because
He'd
he was
rather
like,
be-
I want to be a zombie feast and a zombie.
Yeah.
Which I don't
Oh,
understand why
yeah.
they didn't just shoot him. Like,
Right,
It'd been
yeah.
like the responsible thing to do.
Well, they might not have had enough guns.
right. yeah.
Yeah. So
Not
they-
enough grenades.
yeah,
Like,
not
they
enough
don't use their only
grenades.
grenade.
Yeah, just hand him a grenade and
Yeah.
be like, pull the pin and just
Yeah.
kind of set this
Yeah.
nearby.
I would have liked for like Bruce, like the Raimi character, like, just kind of look back and like nod, like, I know what to do. And pull out a grenade and just pull the pin, just shove it down his throat.
We love you, buddy.
Yeah. Like put it in his mouth and like close his eyes with his finger, then run out.
But yeah, so
it was the right thing to do.
it was the right thing. So yeah, we're in DC where I'm pretty sure we get some plot stuff, but I don't remember it. We meet
We're
Dr.
introduced to our one of the best characters, one of the more confusing characters,
Oh.
Doc Trucker Hat.
Dr. Molson,
Dr.
Dr. Trucker Hat, Dr. Trucker, or Trucker Doctor, whichever one you want to call him. He
It's
goes
so
The
by.
reason
weird.
that we're making fun of him is because he's wearing this absolutely ridiculous hat with a lab coat, and on his head is this bright fucking yellow trucker hat.
That they've handwritten.
In Sharpie. I thought I made a mistake, or I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. That is some boomer fucking comic strip shit,
Bro, yeah, this is definitely the kind of hat you would see like in the early '90s in like a gas station, like
Yeah.
Right.
and like in like a fishing bait store. You would see this, and
Yeah.
people would just see that and like laugh but never buy it because
Right?
you're
Yeah,
spending $5.99 on that.
yeah.
And which
He's all
which
about
they
it.
decided too. They're like, we're not spending $5.99 on that. We're gonna make our own.
We're gonna buy a
Because-
blank one and write.
Yeah, because they hand wrote it on there.
We don't have the extra $5.
Yeah.
Just get a blank
Yeah.
one.
And it's so weird, like, because they don't ever like really reference it or anything like that. And
Except, well, he
it's
just
really
loves
important
it.
to. Yeah,
we don't
he
know
mentions
why.
how much he loves it.
he
We
does.
know nothing
Oh.
about it, but when
Yeah.
Was that
well,
a
I
2
won't
minutes
spoil
I was out?
anything.
Oh,
That
okay.
there might have been some time when you were out.
Okay.
But
But yeah, we're introduced to him, and he expels a bunch of exposition about how they might find a cure,
Yeah,
but they gotta go back to Akron to Dr. Bo's house.
Yeah,
Right.
and then something about how the zombies can starve.
And like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why they had to get like a zombie from Akron, especially if the zombies can starve and it's been a few years.
yeah,
It's not like, you know what I mean? You're getting it. You're going to go all the way there to get an OG zombie.
right. Even
Right,
though
Like,
there's
what would be the difference between that
I don't
zombie
know.
and the other zombie?
I have
They-
no idea.
Yeah, no, they
And-
never explain that.
And if it like mutated or whatever, how would you know like a serum from the OG zombie would work on a mutated zombie?
Yeah,
I don't know. And then we're introduced to
These are
another
good questions,
pointless
Ursa.
plot point. We're introduced to another pointless plot point, the Vox.
Oh,
Oh,
that never comes up.
they never did bring that back.
does
Oh,
any of that.
that pisses
So
me
there's
off.
the Vox. He's
Uh.
a zombie on a table, and he has an implant in his neck, so now he can talk. And all he's saying is "feed me," because
I'm
zombies don't have a
hungry.
lot going on
Yeah.
upstairs. And then
That's what this is what our tax dollars are going
Yes.
to.
Mercer.
You're trying to make zombies talk. That's what we're paying
Yeah.
for.
He starts singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
That was endearing.
And then Mercer just fucking puts his hand right in the zombie's mouth, I guess, and he gets bit, but he's fine.
they
never-
like a lump?
Yeah, they put
Yeah.
like a tourniquet on.
Yeah,
they,
they-
they wrap
but they
a
don't
condom around
chop
his
his-
arm and he's okay.
Yeah, they don't chop his arm off or anything. They just kind of tie it off, and they're like, good to go.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll buy you a few extra days.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Let's take you on this mission with us.
Yeah,
Oh my
so-
gosh.
Is there some type of callback to that though? The Vox?
no,
The
it
Vox
never
no,
comes
They
up.
never brought that
No,
up.
I mean, like, is that like a call to like some kind of
oh,
like
is
all
it
that
a,
a
thing? Or
a reference?
The
I don't
only
know.
thing
I've heard of like Vox communication devices or Vox
Oh,
interpreters, stuff like that
let's see.
before.
I know
wonder.
Vox at one point was an app I used to have on my phone, like back in like the 2012ish.
Oh yeah.
It was like an app you would use where it's like it acted like it was like a walkie-talkie.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Like you send like a voice
With like a
message to someone,
Nextel
you get,
type
like,
thing.
This
Remember
was
the
just like an
Nextel?
app, yeah. Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
sidekick thingies.
Yeah, you'd like push a button and like would they call it?
It was just like walkie-talkie mode or something.
Yeah.
they just function.
They had like a name
walkie-talkies.
for it, but I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know why that didn't catch on. It was like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, you just
Right,
fucking
you just make a
call
phone
somebody,
call.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
We used them when I worked as a security guard. We used them all the time.
Yeah.
So there was a song that was released in 1988. Oh, wait. So there's a song called Vox, and it came out around this same time. Okay. Hang on. It's 1988 Canada.
Is it about
Sarah
zombies?
McLachlan wrote a song called Vox, but I don't know
Oh,
if
the arms,
timing
the
is
angel
correct.
woman.
I'm
I-
I'm gonna make an executive decision to move on because I have a
Yeah.
feeling it's not a reference.
And
Yeah,
nobody's
anything
gonna
about
care.
it. So-
I feel like we're
It never
going
comes
on a
fair.
rabbit hole. That's
We-
why I've-
Yeah, we just already wrapped up the one scene
Yeah.
that he was in, and it never comes up again.
The payoff-
So-
I just don't understand what the.
yeah,
I don't
I,
know.
yeah, I
And
don't
I
know.
just figured
And-
since there were so many cultural
References.
references
Yeah.
in this movie that was some kind of reference.
Well,
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't know.
folks
It's super
understand the
pointless.
Vox reference, please let us know.
Please.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
comment and
overthink
answers.
it. I am positive it's not a reference. I think they were just like, what would be a cool name for a government zombie?
Yeah, I have
So-
no idea, but it
Yeah.
was super pointless. And they like, Mercer gets bit. They tie
Yeah.
him off, and then next thing you
Yeah.
know, we're on our way back. Or no, there's a bunch of protesters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are protesters that want to just let the zombies live.
They're all
Yeah.
about letting
Holy
the zombies live.
Yeah.
Zombie Squad sucks, and
Yeah.
Yeah, which they do. But
Zombie Squad go away. Let the dead
Let the dead
live, or-
walk.
yeah, let the dead
Yeah.
walk,
Yeah.
shit like that. Like,
like, okay. I mean, I know we just did 2020 and it's a lot more believable, but come on.
Yeah.
I would 100% believe there would be some protesters.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But I
But
don't think there would be a lot of protesters.
Well-
yeah.
I feel like it'd be a very small, like, fringe group, like,
Right.
which
just,
that was a kind of a small fringe group.
just a bunch of
anyways.
unwashed people. Like, let them walk.
Yeah.
So,
That's my aunt. She's she's back to
Yeah,
see us.
yeah.
Jesus
Can't
just
kill her.
hadn't took her yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus put us back here for a reason.
yeah. And okay. So I think at this point in the movie, we also get our Evil Dead cameo. He like walks in
Yeah.
a room.
Yep.
There's a bunch of people in flannel and more trucker hats watching Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Talk about how
Yeah,
cool
that-
it is.
Yeah, and he's like, "You should watch this. It'll help you with your zombie killing." And like, I don't think anything's gonna help him with the zombie killing. They're really bad
No.
at it.
No.
But while
So-
that's going on in the background, you see the TV and you get to see Bruce on the
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah, he
yeah.
very briefly pops up on the TV.
So that's
But-
like the one, the one little actual on-screen appearance we get
Yeah.
of Bruce. So
They
that's
showed,
it for
like-
everybody now on the movie. Groovy,
Yeah.
not groovy. No.
yeah. No, but they showed like 4 seconds of Evil Dead, and only one of those seconds even had Bruce Campbell. in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It was the briefest of cameos. So yeah, we meet people in flannel, and then like they're capturing zombies. So they like take a shark cage out, and they're like trying to catch zombies, and then that doesn't work, and then there's like a car full of zombies.
Yeah, it
And
was
it's
like
just
they
like-
transported him there.
Yeah. It's like 2 of the zombie squad guys, a doctor in a lab coat, not Dr. Trucker hat, but other doctor, and then
Dr.
dude
Stephen
in red
King.
flannel. Yeah, it was Dr. Stephen King. Oh my god.
I hate
Yeah.
these names.
I know. This
If
is
you're
awful.
an indie filmmaker, don't do this. It's so cheap.
Yeah.
What?
It does
It's so
nothing.
clever. What are you talking about?
It does nothing.
I'm kidding.
But it was
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
had arrested all these zombies and put them in the back of
Yeah,
their car,
yeah.
but then they
Yeah.
have no idea how to get them out.
Yeah, they open the
Yeah,
door
it's
and they just kind of flop
just
out.
open up the
What
door.
do we do? What
They
do we
are
do
not
now?
wearing anything, not gloves, no protection of any sort.
Doesn't the dude in the red flannel fucking die?
Somebody does surprisingly
No, he
get
doesn't.
fucking bit.
That-
Somebody does.
Yeah,
Somebody
somebody,
got
gets
bit.
bitten in the
Somebody
neck.
gets
Yeah,
their
yeah.
rope
Two of the
ripped out.
soldiers. One of the soldiers.
Yeah.
It was the other zombie squad soldier? Or
Yeah, it's
they
one of-
fucking suck at this. dude.
They were
I,
just-
I loved it because you guys started to have a smoke and the credits were still rolling when I was sitting in here, and they credit those two guys as Solider number 1 and Solider number 2.
Yeah, that scans. So yeah, this one of the Soliders dies.
Yeah.
And then-
Surprisingly.
yeah, at some point they're back in Akron, and then there's like a building they need to clear or go into for some reason that I wasn't paying attention to.
That
And
was
then-
the back to Akron.
probably.
Yeah, when they go back to Akron, they're at Dr. Bo's house, which
Yeah,
is
that's right.
which is a government
A
lab.
government facility with the fucking
Yeah.
wood paneling and shag carpet.
I love it.
Ridiculous
They're
outlets.
I love it. They're trying to like get the door open. He's like the key won't work. Typical government bullshit. I'm like,
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, government issued skeleton keys. Am I
And then-
right?
yeah,
They open that door and zombies come spilling
yeah, just a bunch of
out.
zombies.
Well, no. First, we get a look at dude whose name I don't
Oh,
remember. And
Vincent.
yeah,
Yeah,
Vincent. And he's all
Vincent.
creepy, and he's just spying on him from the
While they're
bushes.
fiddling with the keys.
Yeah, and then they open the door, and then all the zombies just kind of flood out, and they just kind of push the zombies around, and then Vincent runs in, and he pushes through the zombies,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then they just go inside, and
Yeah.
all the zombies are outside.
Which
Yeah,
both
they-
those things are like a common theme in this movie. It's like
Yeah.
zombies
That's a lot.
flooding
Yeah.
from doors, and
Just-
just like sometimes you can just push through the
Yeah,
zombies
Yeah,
and you're
sometimes you
fine.
just kind of shove.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Raimi punched out one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he does that a few times where he just kind of like he'll punch him or he'll just like kind of go around them. Like
yeah, just kind of whoop.
and they get into this
Excuse
like they get into this like super like dated like house, and
Yeah,
Vincent tells him he's like part of a church, and
yeah. That's so we're introduced to our other quote unquote plot with the church.
yeah.
Yep.
And all the
Yeah.
outlets are like 7 feet off the ground.
Yeah, yeah. For some
Yeah,
reason, they're all
yeah.
like right at ceiling. They're like right at the ceiling level.
Yeah.
Like it's super weird. Like
It's just a very bizarrely designed house.
So actually, I think it's kind of, well, we have pretty high ceilings here, but houses back in those days weren't quite as tall. I think they filmed in a real house instead of a set of any kind.
Yeah.
Oh boy, do you think they did?
I
was
would
just
be
thinking
shocked if anything was a set. in this movie.
that may explain the need for dubbing.
'Cause I'm about 90% sure most of this movie was filmed inside whatever high school they had allowed. to
And
use.
just the
Like,
whole
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
was dubbed over.
Oh, but we haven't gone to the high school yet. guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So they just kind of go back outside and are hanging out outside.
they're having a little picnic.
yeah, they're having a picnic, and then Vincent just decides to betray them.
Well,
and-
first we see creeping in the woods nearby with his binoculars is like the weirdest looking dude I've ever like has like a braided mullet, fingerless
like-
and palmless gloves.
A cross between like 90s Billy Ray Cyrus and Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yes, that's very yeah.
yeah,
and
that-
he is also our second voice of
Yes,
yeah,
Bruce
yeah.
Campbell.
Well, he's also,
and that is
which I didn't notice honestly,
Commander Carpenter.
Carpenter.
named
Wonder who
after.
that's named after.
Yeah, obviously it's named after the very famous Jesus's father, the carpenter.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Yes, John the Carpenter. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, John the carpenter.
We swear.
so No, so yeah, they're outside, and then Vincent probably said some exposition I didn't listen to, and then he kills one of the dudes with a machete in one of the funniest parts of the movie.
Oh, I love that
This
moment.
guy just has a machete in his shoulder, and he just kind of looks at his shoulder and goes, "Oh!"
It's super delayed.
And it's like really dragged out. Too. It's such a long
They do a shot. They do a shot right after that where he's supposed to be falling, but it's like the camera. It's like he didn't actually fall because it's super like panned in on like his shoulder and his head, and it's like they kind of just like tilted him back because you can tell they didn't want him to actually fall.
Yeah.
But like Vincent does that. Caller, who is our female character, she shoots Vincent.
Yes,
Yep.
our
Vincent.
female character, our only one.
Yep.
Yes, we have
my
another one
gosh.
later who has a
Wow.
very odd plot line. But
Yeah,
anyways,
I
like,
forgot about her.
Caller shoots Vincent. He like just kind of runs off. No one really gives like everyone kind of lets him go.
No, I think Raimi shot him in the back with a shotgun.
Raimi shot him next.
First, Caller shot him.
Oh,
Caller shot him, and he
See, I
like
missed
ran
that
off.
part.
Yeah.
And then Raimi shoots him with a shotgun, and the dude just keeps going and
Yeah.
like
To this-
gets in the car and
'Cause-
drives off.
Raimi shoots him and then is just like, little bastard, and then turns around and goes back
Just
to the group.
watches
It's
him
like, you
keep
didn't
going.
see him fall. Just make sure he's dead for 2
Yeah.
seconds. Shoot him one more time.
So then we get a
Hops into a car.
yeah,
Yeah, he just kinda
Raimi
hobbles
and
into a
Mercer hop in the car. And I love it. Raimi and Mercer hop in the car. Then Doc Trucker Hat turns on. It's like, "Be careful, Mercer, you're injured." And like he didn't.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Oh,
Doc.
really? I forgot.
yeah, like it reminds him like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you got that bond," reminding us, the audience, like, "Hey, oh, there's this one plot
Yeah.
point that we keep forgetting to remind
Remember
you
the
of."
talking zombie
Yep.
that's never coming up? Remember that he bit a guy?
Yeah, that. Well, here's your reminder.
Yeah.
But they like,
Well, somebody's got to remember about Mercer.
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah. So they're just on zombie patrol.
Yep.
And then they see a big cluster of people kind of struggling in a field. And by
Well,
big cluster,
first-
I mean it's 5 people.
First, we get that like little car chase where the bad guys evade them by just making a left turn.
Oh, yeah.
And he stops in the road and he's like, damn it, I gotta turn left.
Shit.
And then he turns left.
And then
But it's
they
too
apparently
late.
evade him.
Yeah.
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 They're just gone, I guess.
Successfully evaded.
But then they see like 6 people in a field, and some of them are probably zombies, and they're just kind of struggling. So then, Mercer, he's sleeping like a little baby.
Yeah.
So Raimi doesn't want to disturb him. So he's like, "Stay here, my child." And then he leaves by himself.
Rolls the window up, but cracks it.
Yeah,
a little bit.
rolls the window up to protect him.
Just leaves him on the side of the road in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
Why
no,
not?
let's say, "Hey, Murph, someone check this out."
When
or,
there's
"Hey,
a
watch
cluster of
yourself."
zombies doing something, don't wake him up and be like, "Hey, man, I need some backup real quick." Just let him sleep. He's
Just
all
let him-
tuckered
He's
out.
injured, remember?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he goes
The
out there
doctor
and like
said.
it's
Yeah,
it's a
it's-
couple guys
Yeah, it's dudes
strapping
putting
masks.
muzzles on,
yeah, put muzzles on zombies.
Yeah.
Are those like fencing masks or
They-
something?
That's what it
look
looks
kinda
like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they look
they
like
look
modified
fencing
fencing
masks.
masks.
Which wouldn't be a bad idea actually. Like for
Yeah.
zombies, I mean that's a pretty solid idea.
Yeah,
Apparently they still have that like zombie grip and they can rip your guts out.
Right.
Yeah, they can get
Right.
masked
But
with
sure,
those.
you can get
But they
close
can't
enough and
bite
just
you.
wrestle with
But
them and strap it
It's
on.
another
Right.
one of those scenes where like there's like 3 zombies, they strap masks to them. The 3 guys see Raimi coming, like it's the cops, get out of here! And they run off,
Shit.
and Raimi's just like, you damn people,
Running.
and
You defeated me.
exactly.
Yeah.
and it's not one of those scenes where you get this sense that the zombies are just useless, like they're just pointless. Because like one of the zombies like kind of like approaches Raimi, he just kind of like just shoves it out of the way.
Yeah, he
like,
just,
like,
it's
he
just
gone.
kinda, like,
pushes it out of
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
like it's one of the ones that doesn't have a mask on. It's like the one they were trying to put
Yeah.
a mask on. It just like comes up. He just kind of like pushes it away. He's like, Jesus Christ, get
Yeah.
the fuck away from me! Like
and then the muzzled zombies start trying to grab him, and he
And
Yeah.
he just doesn't care.
Nope.
Like,
Yeah.
apparently they're totally fucking harmless when they have their mouths covered, even though we see them literally rip people
as long
apart.
as you
Yeah.
don't stick your fingers in their mouth, you're fine.
So then he, I assume, takes chase after those people
I
because
think that's kind
Yeah.
of the implication anyway.
he gets back to he follows him to their lair,
Yeah, this
Yeah,
brick
the
house.
school. It's
Or
just
the-
like,
the
yeah.
school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a school. and
What?
this is where we're going to get a lot of exposition
He
for
goes
like,
window to window.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. He literally just walks window to window and sees everything. So we learn
it reminds me a lot of like I remember in school, like I was really young, like 2nd grade, we just started getting computers, and there was this like Spider-Man math game where you were Spider-Man like scaling the side of a wall, side of a building, and you go from window to window, and there'd be like a math problem, and then you'd have to like drop down to the other window that had the math
Oh
like
my
answer the
gosh.
problem. Like it reminded me of that because he was just like kind of like just scaling along this building.
Yep. He would just walk up to a window and just kind of look in and see some shit. So for the first thing he saw is just people in black KKK robes sacrificing a woman, which we also never learned.
Yeah, we didn't.
Oh
explain
yeah,
that
that's
at
right.
all.
And we
Never-
never circled back around
Never
that,
came
did
back to that.
Like
but
they
that establishes
killed her
their
with a
cult.
freaking sword.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Like,
like
it
a
was like a
ceremony.
ritual
Yeah, it's like
thing.
a ritualistic
And
killing.
He's just watching this happen. They murder her, and then he just hops down. He's like, "Well, looks like it's a cult." So then he moves on to the next window.
See, she was alive. That's the problem. He's he's zombie patrol. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
worried
zombie
about the
patrol. He
living.
doesn't deal
Well, I don't
with the
deal
living.
with murder. I just deal with
Those are
unmurder.
living people killing living people.
Sorry,
Not
lady.
my department.
Sorry, lady. You're too alive. Out of my jurisdiction. I can't.
Now, if you come back after he murders you, I'm all over it.
Yeah, I'll be here for you, but
Yeah.
you got the wrong department.
Yeah. File your complaint after you've got your death
Yeah.
certificate.
Yep. So we go to the next window, and I think the next window is where we meet Not Bub the zombie.
Not Bub.
No,
But even though he
our-
clearly looks just like him.
I think
Yeah.
isn't when all this is going on. Yeah, this is. You're right. This is where we meet
Yeah.
Not Bub the
Not
zombie.
Bub.
Yeah, and isn't the Reverend in there with him?
Yeah, he's
I think,
feeding him
yeah.
and he's wearing sunglasses for some
Yeah.
reason. He's doing
Yeah, yeah. We meet Reverend Jones, who wears
Ooh.
sunglasses at all times, kind of like real life cult leader Reverend
Doug
Jim
Jones.
Jones.
Oh,
Not Doug, no, not Doug Jones. No, he just does good makeup work. No, Reverend Jim Jones. That's the Jonestown thing where all the people drank the Kool-Aid and then, lived happily ever after.
Yep.
No, but yeah, he's in
Jim Jones
in
Kool-Aid party.
the least subtle reference they could have possibly yanked out of their asshole.
Man, I don't think I had put it together. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, I just can't get over how clever they're writing.
They even cast a guy that looked a little bit
Yeah.
like Jim Jones. Like,
But I love it because he's got sunglasses on. He's feeding a zombie. Anna, who introduces our other female character.
yep.
Yep.
She's in there. She's like, "Why are you feeding him?" He's like, "It's my son. I gotta feed him." And but when he's doing this dialogue, he takes his sunglasses off. So it's like,
Yeah.
Why'd
Yeah.
you have the sunglasses
Right.
on?
Like
Yeah.
at first we thought maybe he was blind or something.
Yeah.
Well, then we wouldn't understand that Reverend Jones was a reference to Reverend Jim Jones, the cult leader,
Oh,
unless
yeah.
he
Facts.
wore the sunglasses.
You're absolutely
Exactly right.
Ah,
It went
I
over our
get it
heads.
now.
Yeah.
I get it now.
And we
So-
got lost in the all the subtle genius of this writing.
Yeah. So we learned that there's like a smart zombie or something, probably, and then
I don't know if it's like smart. Just like I don't.
He's
I don't know.
special
It's
for
just-
some
smarter
reason.
Yeah,
than
he's
the
special.
others.
yeah, for some
But-
reason he's special. I don't think that.
I
He's
think it's-
definitely paying attention when they're having
Yeah,
like,
I
conversations
think
and
it's
stuff
like
that.
because he is like he's like the first. We find out later that he was one of the high school punks that broke into Doc Brown's.
did we?
Doc
Because I
Bose.
clearly didn't pay attention to
Yeah.
that part.
I only know that because at the end credits they show it when they bring up that character. They show him as like that guy that got killed first, and then as, that
I went
zombie.
outside to smoke, so I didn't
So-
see that part. Damn
so
it,
I'm
you're not supposed to
assuming-
give us exposition during
Yeah,
credits.
yeah.
That's bullshit.
So I'm assuming that because he was the first guy, because I guess he was the first one
That
bitten.
was-
Maybe he's like the OG victim, and that's why he's a little smarter.
Maybe.
Apparently. But he's special.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Carpenter some character comes in, is like, Vincent got killed. He's all Vincent's all banged up. Carpenter brought him back.
Yeah.
So,
So he goes to the next window. He shuffles on over
Yeah.
to the next
Yeah.
window, and he
and
sees Vincent
Reverend
die.
Jones puts his sunglasses back on because he's going
Oh,
out in the
yeah.
hallway.
Oh yeah.
And we
then-
go there, and Vincent's just all fucked up. Of
Yep.
course, he got
After
shot
getting
3
shot
times.
twice,
And
yeah.
twice, whatever.
Toot
He's
the
not
fuck
doing
Yeah,
it.
no one fucking.
Is this the window where it looks like Raimi is like climbing? But
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
very obvious
But
that there's bushes behind it.
Yeah.
But he's clinging on for dear life
Yeah.
to those bricks.
And Vincent just he's like, oh no, the Reverend's gonna heal me, and the Reverend comes in, he's like, you fucking
You got shot too bad.
Yeah.
You got shot.
I'm surprised you made it
Yeah.
here.
Probably should have put some pressure on it and waited instead of
Yeah.
running here.
He like puts his finger to his lips. He's like, shh. He's like, ooh, never do that to
Yeah,
people.
don't do that.
No.
Keep your fingers out of people's mouths. I think
Yeah.
that's what this movie
Good way
is
to
trying
get
to get at.
That's like the main moral of the
The main
story of this whole
message.
movie.
Yeah.
Keep your fingers out of
Yeah.
other people's fucking mouths.
Yep. Yeah.
You
that's a great
animals.
lesson. And then Vincent dies.
But first he tells Powers,
yeah.
who's our third character, who is
Oh,
the
yeah,
most
that
like
is
useless,
another
one of the
female
more
character.
useless
Yeah.
characters in the movie. He tells her like, get the gun out of Reverend Jones's desk.
Yeah.
And shoot Jason, the smart zombie, I guess, or something.
I don't
No.
fucking
That
know.
was to
Yeah.
protect
To protect
Yeah.
her, he
Yeah.
says, protect
Yeah.
her, and I think I know where that goes later in the movie, but I don't think I fucking know where it goes.
Yeah.
It
It doesn't.
Yeah.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
So maybe. So Vincent dies, and then they chuck him to a pit of zombies to be zombie food, I guess.
Yep.
'Cause
Oh,
they just
yeah.
have a bunch of zombies
And we
being
do
kept.
see that whole big basement. I guess that's
And
where the
also,
Reverend went later on.
Before that, they feed the ritual sacrifice woman to him, and then they throw Vincent in there.
Oh.
Like, see, I thought that's why they were like sacrificing that girl, but like, why go through all that trouble?
Yeah, there was
Right.
like a whole
Just
ritual.
fucking
Yeah.
throw the live person down there. It's not like they're gonna.
Save some time. Yeah, save
Right.
yourself.
This if she's down there long enough, I'm sure she'll stick her fingers in somebody's mouth.
Yeah, we'll take long.
I mean, yeah, they did the whole thing up to they were
Yeah.
black cloaks and
And
hoods.
there's like blood on the walls, and there's
Yeah.
candles.
Right,
Candles
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah,
they
like
ruined
all those
that
candles.
tablecloth.
Like the one dude who had the blade, like took a drink of wine, like let it dribble out of his mouth, like some kind of like thing,
Yeah.
like or blood. I don't know, blood or wine, whatever the fuck he had.
Who the
Yeah.
fuck cares?
But-
Whatever it was, it was a waste.
It made
of
no
it.
sense.
But then Raimi decides to bounce out of there, and we see that like this cult is doing a better job at containing zombies and fucking zombie squad.
They have like
Yeah.
a whole pen outside.
They have a whole pen of like hundreds of zombies.
just people just feeding them, sticking their fingers
Yeah.
inches away from these
Yeah.
mouths. Yeah. But
And-
Raimi,
and they like the zombie squad can't do shit.
Right, they're
still
confused by the.
incompetent.
They're still
How's
trying
he
to
moving
arrest
around
him.
without a head?
Wait a minute, I thought I just killed him. How's he still dead to death?
Yeah,
Like, oh my
he's
They're
God.
the fucking zombies.
And
Oh,
these
man.
fucking religious rednecks up in Akron, Ohio, just fucking dozens of zombies at a
Mastered.
time and have them like contained.
Just have a whole fucking army.
I say let the cult do whatever the fuck they want. They're doing more than
Doing a
fucking
better job
zombie
keeping
squad.
it- yeah.
They're the only ones keeping less zombies around than fucking zombie squad.
They made Akron great again.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so Raimi gets to the car, and guess what? It's surrounded by.
Oh,
It's surrounded by zombies. Yeah,
Oh,
remember
no.
Mercer's just been sleeping this whole time? You guys
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that? How he just fucking abandoned this dude in the car?
And it's a super tense scene
Oh,
where
yeah,
Raimi
tense.
just walks up and kind of like pushes past the zombies.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
shuts him out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
he just
just
kind
gets
of
in the
pushes
car.
through like he's trying to make his way to the front of
Yeah,
the
like,
line.
It's like
Excuse
walking
me.
through a crowded bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he just gets in the car, like,
he's like,
Oh,
excuse me,
shucks.
zombie squad, out of the way, man.
Yeah.
Zombie squad coming
Go
through.
on,
Move
I'll
Move
have
it.
to arrest you if
Yeah.
you try to bite me.
Don't make me bust your ass up. I'm a zombie squad. And like he gets right on by, and then like they drag a zombie along for a
Yeah.
little bit.
That was
Somehow
pretty
one
great.
magically appears on the hood of their car.
Right.
Yep, just teleports onto the hood of the car.
That was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, we're led to believe that was a very tense scene.
Oh
so-
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
A lot of tension.
Yeah.
What was
Guys-
Sam Raimi thinking producing this? I don't fucking understand it. I can't
That's probably
understand it.
why he did it under like a pen name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Master Cylinder.
Well, he started off doing like a
Yeah.
low budget movie. Maybe he thought he was giving somebody a chance. I don't know
Maybe he
anything
thought he
about
was
the
like
writer
paying back
director.
to the.
Yeah.
yeah,
paying it
he
forward.
didn't forget his roots. He's like,
Well,
yeah,
Raimi, you're a great guy.
Yeah, you
That was- That was generous of you. We think we, appreciate it.
you should have read the script.
By
first.
the way,
We make movies.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, if you're looking for somebody to make a shitty low budget movie,
we may or may not have a movie about zombies coming
No.
out.
Yeah.
speaking of shitty low budget movies,
Oh, it's a
Anywho.
Pixar film.
Yeah. I gotta be
Now
honest,
we've got your
guys.
attention.
I forget what happened after they got away in the car.
it's like Mercer's wounds are like finally getting to him
They're
after
starting
all
to get
this
to him.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I totally forgot everything.
Oh, they took him
Is this
back
where
to
I
Dr.
leave?
Trucker. This might be where
I left
Yeah.
for like a 10-minute span. Apparently, I
So-
missed like all the movie at that point.
The entire everything, all the plots,
Yeah.
all the closing
Yeah.
up right
Yeah.
there.
So I
10
stepped
minutes.
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
After an hour of not shit happening, I step out in like the 10
Yeah.
minutes. Of like,
Everything
all right, let's
happens.
fill up. Let's fill
So-
in the.
Yeah.
Basically,
blanks.
yeah, the next thing that happens that matters at all is
Right.
that they decide for some reason that the zombie they have to get is Jason.
Yeah, they have to go in
So
and steal him.
yeah. So
Which-
they just do?
Yeah.
But
we
it
don't-
sounds exciting.
just-
I mean, too bad
yeah.
we didn't see
Yeah, I
it.
know.
it's
Like
just off screen.
infiltrating this cult
Yeah.
base would have been a good part of your
Dr.
movie
Trucker's like,
It'd been a
we
big
need the
opportunity for an
smart
action
one.
piece.
And then the next shot is them just with Jason in the back of the
Right.
fucking van. And he's just in his cage like, oh, I wonder what just
Yeah.
happened. And we're like, correct, Jason, we do as well.
there. We wonder, indeed. And they get
Yeah.
back and you find out Dr. Trucker has given the serum to Mercer.
Oh, yeah, because he was like, I don't know if you guys were going to make it back. So I just kind of, and he just injected Mercer. And then he's just all of a
Raimi's
sudden
not
the
happy.
villain.
Yeah.
The villain. He's just, yeah, he's all of a sudden the villain.
And that's like
He's just like, I don't regret it. Like,
Yeah.
Why did you need to go to Akron if you could just give it to whatever
Yeah,
fucking
if you're
zombie?
give it to whoever.
yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Very
So,
strange. Yeah.
so yeah, but the cult wants
They
wants their
want
zombie
him back.
So they
You
show
got my
up.
son. You got my
Yeah.
zombie kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they show up in a caravan of fucking
Zombie loaded vehicles.
Yeah, just
With
a
the
bunch of
hippie guy.
vans. Yeah, there's a hippie guy with
That's like
glasses.
his
who's
first
like-
time in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, like this guy, the only movie he'd ever seen before acting was fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So he was trying really, really fucking hard to channel Chop Top, and he was not doing great. And this is where we find out that the cult has trained the zombies
Oh yeah.
like dogs.
They're like
They
like
sniffing
war
them on this
zombies.
house.
Yeah. They have them on
Yeah.
leashes, just like sniff them out.
Go
boy."
on, get them.
They just pull up in like a truck and they open it up and they're like, we're confused because the zombies are just like walking past them.
Yeah, the
It's
zombies
like,
don't
yo,
try to attack anyone,
very-
and it's because they're trained. I
Trained
guess.
zombies. They're just
Yeah, if you feed them enough fingies, they listen to you.
Yeah.
It's like it would have been better if they were like had, like a perfume or some kind of
Oh.
stuff they
Yeah.
put on their body to make
Right,
Make the zombies ignore
literally
'em.
any
Yeah.
explanation besides
That
well,
would've
the
made
hippie
more
dude trained
sense.
them. Yeah, so they fucking attack.
Yep.
I'm losing it, guys. I don't remember
Ra-
most of this shit.
Raimi tries to.
I'm waiting to get back in here 'cause
Raimi-
I'm out of this.
This
part
is the
now.
part you
I'm-
were
I'm
gone for.
listening
So,
in.
so Raimi's in the woods, and he sees he kind of spied these guys coming in. He's like, "Oh shit, we got to tell the others."
Did I
So he
miss the
tells
grenade
others. Oh,
we're getting there.
oh
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So then Raimi realizes that their escape is blocked when he turns around. He hears a twig snap, and he turns around and he sees Carpenter and a few people
Oh yeah, that
standing there. They've got their guns trained on him, and he stands there and he looks at him for a second, and they look at him with their guns trained on him, and then he aims his shotgun at them and pulls the trigger, and then one of them dies, and the rest run away, and he runs away back to the house, and he goes, "Our back way out's taken up."
Like
Can't do it.
Carpenter like jumps on the ground and like
Yeah.
dodges the shotgun blast.
Oh my god.
yeah.
It was a very tense moment, to be sure.
Oh, the
And
tension.
so they decide they're gonna, I guess, just blast their way out of there. They
So they got the bag with
yeah.
the serum and it's like the bag of holding for grenades.
yes,
Yeah.
because suddenly our attackers are getting fucking bombed.
Yep.
Explosions are
Fuck.
going off everywhere.
Raimi
These
is
grenades,
just chucking grenades like a fucking video
as they're
game. player,
running
dude.
away from the house that they've
Jesus
somehow
Christ.
snuck out of.
Like he entered a cheat code. He has way too many fucking
Yeah,
grenades.
he's just chucking these motherfuckers, and they get to their car and they start driving away. And that's where our hippie guy, he's he's egging these zombies on still, and then a grenade falls at his feet, and he says like some stupid
Oh,
last
shit, or
line.
something
Oh
like that.
shit! And
Yeah.
just blows up.
Yeah, and so that character's
Yeah.
gone.
And then is it Reverend Jones who's asking? Oh no, yeah. They're talking to Reverend Jones, updating him, and they say we have one of theirs.
Yeah, they left
him
one of
behind.
their soldiers
Yeah.
behind.
And then we
And the
smash
jump cut to them driving, and Raimi's just like, "Oh shit! How do we forget Mercer?"
you guys forgot the tree clearing with the
Oh,
grenades.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So,
enlighten
they're
us.
still being pursued or whatever, and then they're out of grenades, but there's a tree in the way. And I was just kidding. They still have more grenades. So Raimi just sticks his hand out the window, just kind of goes, "Yeah," and then
Chucks
chucks
it.
a grenade at the really small tree.
that they literally just drove the car
Yeah,
over
yeah.
anyway.
And then but they're
shoot
home free. But then they're home free. They
Great.
made it.
So if you ever need to get away real quick through the forest in a car, make sure you have your bag of grenades
Yeah.
with you. You can bomb your way through the
haphazardly
forest.
chuck a grenade with your offhand out
totally
in front
gonna
of the
work.
car, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Lumberjacks need to know this secret.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how
This
are
is
we
the
not
way.
just distributing hand grenades to like our nation's loggers?
I know.
This is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Hand grenades are like the towels from Hitchhiker's
'Cause-
Guide to the Galaxy.
Always have a hand grenade.
Big Saul doesn't want you to know this.
Big saw.
saw.
Big
Oh,
saw.
big wood, yeah.
We're gonna take
Yeah.
down big wood.
Big lumber.
Big
Big
lumber.
lumber. So yeah, they successfully evade the cult and big lumber.
But I've unfortunately forgotten Mahler.
Mercer.
Mercer.
Yeah, they're just
Sorry.
like, bummer. So they apparently, I guess they decide to go back and get him or something.
That's
'Cause
right.
The cult is now in a high school gymnasium.
Yes.
Yeah, they're
More-
having their
More
service.
candles lit, and Jason is chained to a treadmill, and he's just kind of hanging out on one side of the stage, and then on the other side of the stage, Mercer is like nailed up on like a poorly constructed piece of like plywood.
Yeah,
It's
it's plywood. And he's now like zombified.
Yeah. He's like all
He's starting to turn
zombified.
it. Yep.
And then the Reverend is talking about some shit that I wasn't listening to. And then they show up and they attack and they just kind of start attacking. They just like snuck right up through the building to where they needed to be.
Yeah.
They're just on like the fucking stage.
Wait, he was like the carpenter guy was like, don't attack them before, but like he knew they were coming. Don't attack them. I want them to be in the temple.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh, okay. Is that how they made
What?
it?
why?
Yeah. I didn't catch that, and I still don't understand it.
Yeah. Speaking of didn't catch that, didn't understand it. There's we missed the one part earlier on where Powers, the girl that was talking to Vincent,
shit.
Oh, she was. She
goes
tried to shoot Jason.
She she tried to shoot the Reverend. She goes into the Reverend's
That's right.
Yeah.
She
little
goes to
fucking
get
desk,
the gun.
pulls the gun out.
And that's when the
Reverend
Reverend
walks in and is like, "What are you doing?"
With it.
Was she okay?
Yeah.
But it just like clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like pulls a gun, it clicks, then the Reverend pulls a gun out and shoots her, and then like that's the end of that plot
That's-
line.
Yep.
And what the
That was
fuck
it.
was that?
Wrap
Really?
that sucker right up. That
We-
happened like 30 minutes earlier.
Yeah,
by the
we
way.
spent
That's
more
not
time on
relevant
it than they did.
Just didn't make any sense at all either. Because I mean, like
None
when
of it
Vincent's
did.
dying, before he tells her to get the gun, he's like helping out
Yeah.
Right.
fucking-
I guess because this dude couldn't just like magically cure his gunshot wounds. He was just
Yeah,
like,
he
well,
fucked
fuck
me
him.
over.
Well, fuck
He
him.
fucked me over. He said he could. He said he was a healer.
Yeah. So anyway, fast forward
Yeah.
so they're attacking. Like some stuff goes down, but then fucking Trucker Doctor made a serum, and then they give it to Jason, and Jason just explodes in one
Yeah,
of
he
the
just,
grosser,
like, starts,
better
Like
looking
melts
melting.
down. Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
a pretty decent little.
Yeah,
effect,
that looked good.
Yeah.
Like the high budget parts of this movie are clearly way above the rest.
Yeah.
Like they
Right.
stand out.
I feel like it was
It's an
someone's
effects film.
practical effects reel.
Oh, I bet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because they
could see
did do
that.
a really good job with
Yeah,
practical
because like
effects.
the practical effects, especially for the gore and the injuries,
Most of
were
the time.
really good. The
Yeah.
zombie makeup looked bad.
Right.
Always looked bad, but the gore looked great.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
looked like a bunch of people at a Halloween party got massacred realistically.
I will say, zombie makeup is a lot harder to do on like a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Certainly
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't underestimate that.
We've learned that.
Not
Yeah,
cheap.
but,
not cheap, not easy.
Not cheap, not easy.
But yeah, so Jason gets turned into goo, and then they give the serum to Mercer.
Yeah.
But then he can just like he's still smart and he can talk because
Right.
like he wasn't fully dead when they gave it to him.
Right. And we
So-
kind of get that in an exposition as Dr. Trucker and the rest are running down the
Yeah,
hallway.
right.
In a really
Shots.
weird shot.
He's just like,
Super
yeah, no,
weird.
it must.
But
The
this
serum
dude,
must have
he
latched
looks-
onto the living
yeah,
cells.
he looks like a power walking grandma.
He looks like,
Goth.
he's,
so
fake, he's
weird.
definitely like fake running.
Right.
Oh,
Even
honey.
like fake has to like catch his breath.
Honey, let me tell you about this thing I did the other day. I made this serum for the zombies. Like just kind of just power walking down the hallway.
Yep.
Yeah. So then like the Reverend I think got shot at some point and he's dying, and then
Yeah.
he goes down to the basement.
Yeah, who did fucking shoot him?
I don't remember.
Anna. Did Anna shoot him?
It might.
I
it-
don't know.
I don't fucking
Who
know.
the fuck is Anna?
Yeah, who's Anna?
The girl, the girl we find
His
out
daughter?
later is the one that claims to be his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
No,
She
it's
like
not his
thought-
daughter,
no, she
is
didn't
it?
shoot him because later he like
Yeah.
he talks to her. I don't know who the fuck shot him.
He
I
got
mean, there was
shot
a little
or,
bit of-
or injured. Something happened to him.
There
I don't-
was a little bit of a shootout when all that stuff.
Oh
was
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
because
Yeah.
Jones shoots Stephen King
That's right.
when he's,
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
he's
that's
up
right.
by Mercer.
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
kind of walks up to Mercer and like lets
Yeah.
him down, right? Like he's like, sort of like
he pulls down
off
one
here.
one of his nails, I think. He
Yeah.
rips out.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then he got shot.
And
And
who the
then
fuck
somebody,
shot?
I think it might have been Raimi. that
Raimi?
shot him.
Maybe it was our
Maybe.
hero, Raimi.
I
Yeah.
don't think it matters. So anyway,
it doesn't.
Jones is in the basement, and
he tells Anna to get out. Anna, who is
his daughter
supposedly his daughter, which we find out later is a huge twist that has a lot to do with the plot.
Yeah,
that happens later and blows
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
away.
What a great twist that had such a drastic effect on
Oh.
the plot of this film.
Yeah.
It puts the brakes on the whole plot. Everything
Oh
you
my
thought you knew
God.
about this movie comes to a halt.
Yeah.
I totally remember what you
Yeah.
guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Well, yeah. So Carpenter's
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
probably in stunned silence the whole time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
or not Carpenter. Yeah.
That's why I did.
But yeah, so
How to get-
Jones
how
is
to
in the basement and he opens the thing and he says some dramatic last words, and then zombies come
Yeah.
out and then they start killing everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone's dying.
He feeds himself to like they all
Yeah, he sacrifices himself.
lets
Now,
him
one of
partake
my
in his
favorite
corpse.
parts, though, that I forgot about until just now is that what's his fuck Raimi and Culler, who are like I think the only two left of the zombie squad. They're just kind of jogging down the hallway.
Doc's still with him.
Well, he does.
He's not
he
zombie
doesn't have
squad.
a jumpsuit.
Yeah, he's not caught.
But yeah, so they're just kind of jogging down the hallway, and there's a bunch of cult members, not zombies, unarmed cult members chasing them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At a very light pace,
Yes.
and every once in a while they just kind of turn around and shoot one.
Oh
And
my
they keep
god!
going.
Like just fucking point blank with a shotgun.
It's like,
And the
look,
whole
this is a
movie-
real dire situation, huh? Blam!
The whole movie, Raimi has like an M16 and a shotgun on his back, like crossed, like in a video game.
in a very convenient way that you can definitely access them easily.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then but he's always got his shotgun with him too, but he never utilized. And he's got a sidearm. Like the
Oh,
dude's
yeah.
full of fucking
He is
guns.
strapped, and we almost never see him use any of them.
No,
he
he
only
uses
a
a shotgun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just shotgun and his
shotgun.
handy dandy grenades.
Yeah.
Those grenades.
yeah.
Just
So-
tucked all over him.
Yeah,
Yep.
so they're just kind of casually killing cult members, and then like I think Raimi's on the ground, and the cult members are just tickling him or something. I don't know what the fuck they were
Yeah,
doing. They're unarmed, like none of them have a knife or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Mercer shows up as a zombie, and they're like, "Fuck!" Like it's a fucking oh my god, not one zombie, Jesus
Yeah.
fuck!
Yeah, they
So
book
they
it.
bounce. They
Yeah.
just bounce, and then Raimi stands up and he's like, "Sup, Mercer?" And Mercer's like, and then he's like, "You want to hang out with us?" And he's like, "No, I want to kill the doctor because I hate him."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, "Okie dokie, have fun."
Yeah. He
He's
really like
Dr.
sells him
Trucker.
out. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's
yeah, he's like,
he's
yeah,
back this way.
down the
But-
hall on the right.
but-
He might have
yeah.
shit himself trying to sniff for it.
My,
Yeah.
my favorite line though is it's like one of my favorite lines in like film now. Like it's but he's like, we're about to head out here. You want to come with us? He's like, no, man, I'm a zombie now.
He's like, "Man, I'm a zombie now."
Yeah, and just walks off, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Raimi's like,
Okie dokie.
alrighty.
Now they had left Dr. Trucker being mobbed by these
Yeah, cult
by
members.
Cult members.
Yeah.
I thought he was being mobbed by like the hallway zombies.
Yeah,
the ones
really-
that just
yeah,
pop
maybe
out
it
of the
was.
hallway.
You really
I
fucking can't
also
tell.
might have
He's-
crisscrossed, and maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't
Because
Raimi.
he's basically just like, go on, get out of here. I'll meet you back at such and such a place. Well, he's got like
Yeah.
a dozen people around him, and this heavily fucking armed man is standing right there, like, oh yeah, I gotta leave you. Bye.
I'm on a lot of grenades. I
And
can't
then
do
he
nothing.
does. He sells him out.
Yeah.
He tells Mercer where he's at because Mercer is pissed.
Yeah.
like
Got
yeah.
the serum.
He's
He's
like,
like, I'm
Doc
gonna tear him
Trucker
apart.
becomes like a despised, like despicable
Yeah.
character out of nowhere. Like
Yeah, because he injected the serum into Mercer, who was
I
going
guess.
to turn anyway.
he's just careless, I guess.
I don't-
I don't
It's
understand.
kind
Yeah.
of contrived, but okay.
Yeah,
So-
all of a sudden he's like a villain.
Yeah.
Everyone's like out to get him now.
Yeah. So fucking Trucker Doctor runs into a room and he calls his colleagues in Washington to like give them the formula for the serum or some shit. And then Mercer walks into a room where a bunch of zombies are eating dead people and he goes, "Hey guys, come hang out with me." And then all the zombies just get up and follow him.
Yeah.
So he just
Yeah.
has magical zombie commanding powers.
Yep.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
if another zombie can talk, all the other zombies are like, "We gotta do
Oh,
what this
fuck
kid says."
yeah.
Like that's my thing. I don't know why he's mad. If I'm going to be a zombie anyway,
Right.
at least I'll be a smart zombie
Right, yeah.
Exactly. You
that can
can't-
talk.
He can
Yeah,
command, like,
he can
I'd be kind of
communicate.
stoked.
And then
It's like, okay,
yeah.
I was for sure gonna be a dumb fucking zombie in a day, and this dude made it so like I'm gross, but at least I
Yeah.
can still think.
I'm like
Right.
now.
Right.
I'm like a super villain.
Yeah.
Like,
I can command zombies.
I like shake his hand
Seriously.
like, "Thanks, Dr. Trucker. You
Yeah.
really helped me out on this
Yeah.
one." Like,
Heck yeah, he's like a necromancer now. He's
Yeah.
just like undead and
Yeah.
he can command zombies.
So he
It's
just-
a good
yeah.
situation.
he just
Thanks,
has
Doc.
command of the whole horde,
Yeah.
and he follows Dr.
Yeah.
Molson, Trucker Hat, into a room.
yeah, Doctor
Yeah.
Trucker Hat's on the phone with Doctor Savini.
Yeah, another
Fuck
reference.
you, Ryder.
Yep.
And Dr. Savini is back at the DC place. He's like telling him like the ingredients, giving the
Mhm.
recipe for the, he's like, yeah,
Right.
use 6 cups of this and 5
Yeah.
cups of that.
Yeah.
And
And he's trying to tell him, don't use it on somebody who's still technically alive. Like, it won't.
Right.
Like,
but he
it's gonna-
can't get it out in time because
Yeah.
The door
Mercer
bursts
and the zombies
open.
come
Yep.
in.
They bust through the door.
And then
Remember that part where they bust through
Yeah.
the door.
because Doc Trucker Hat gets in a
Oh,
very shittily
A
constructed.
flimsy wooden
Yeah.
cage.
that might have been where they were
Yep.
keeping
It's made out like that.
the kid zombie. The OG
Yeah.
zombie.
That's what I get.
Yeah.
It's made all that shit that wood you used in like middle school when you made the bridges.
Oh yeah, like
balsa
balsa
wood.
wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
balsa wood.
Yeah.
It's made out of that because
Like 2 grades above popsicle stick.
Yeah. like the zombies are like trying to get in, and like Mercer's like, we're gonna get in there and get you. And he's like, what are you gonna do? Rip my tongue out? He's like, something like that.
And then
And
he's all
then,
scared now. He's
yeah.
like, whoa, what? He's going to rip my tongue out.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're surrounded by zombies.
So he pulls out a little Swiss Army knife and just like
I mean, everybody carries a pocket saw. You don't have a pocket
And then he
saw?
just kind of starts sawing
Sawing
through
his way out of the
Because there's-
bars
there's a
because there's a window.
There's a
Yeah.
window.
a window.
yeah.
He can saw his way to freedom. If only he can get out of this flimsy wooden cage, which an entire horde of zombies that just, I repeat, busted a door down are just kind of having a lot of trouble with these sticks.
They're barely touching it, and it looks like
Yeah.
a fucking earthquake.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
wobbly.
So while he's doing that,
Oh, and he
Raimi,
dropped a gun on the ground after taking one shot, and I don't think that gun was empty. It's in the cage with him. He could just do the whole like, "You're not getting me, Mercer," but he's just like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna saw my way
he
out."
wouldn't do that. It would mess up his hat.
Yep, that's a good
He,
point.
I loved it too earlier when the zombies or whatever were on him, and Mercer walks up and scares him off. Like the first thing he does is like check his hat, like make sure his hat's
Oh yeah,
on right.
oh yeah. He's
I
always
love-
making sure that hat's on him.
But
That's
anyway,
right.
well he's sawing the wood. Raimi makes it out of the school and like runs into a zombie, and they fall down. And he like sits there like all confused, like what happened? And a zombie just bites him in the throat and rips like his like I don't know, like his
Oh,
shoulder.
right
or
before they
whatever.
get in the
Yeah,
car.
a giant piece of a special effect out
Yeah.
of his neck.
Yeah, it was
What-
like a
Yeah.
big piece of trap he took to take
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah,
Okay, to be clear, not literally every special effect in this movie was good.
no, like
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
that's
it
Every
it
once
sucked
in a while, I get
because
that.
yeah, because it sucks. Like I see Mercer, I mean Raimi, like he sits up and like immediately it starts getting ripped out because you can see the prosthetic
Oh
on his
yeah.
head. Like he's getting
You
killed.
know.
They let the shot linger a little too much.
Yep.
And then the zombie sheriff rips his trap off. Collar shoots the zombie.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
Raimi gets in the car. And then
we skipped over the part where Collar and that one chick had the thing where she
Oh
was,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody-
yeah. We
somebody
wrapped up
was
a
a-
nice.
Oh, my God,
How
yeah.
did we leave out that?
and we
And then-
also
element.
skipped over the standoff between Carpenter and Raimi.
Oh yeah, another thing.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit
Yeah,
about.
Raimi shot Carpenter, and it turns out Anna is Dr. Bo's daughter.
Both things are brought up and resolved instantly.
Yeah.
Oh, which I gotta say, I did love the way Anna died because they were just having a conversation, and she opened the door, and then like a whole conga line of zombies.
No,
fucking-
she didn't even open a door. She was just
That was-
standing by a
bro.
hallway.
Oh, yeah.
She was standing by a
Yeah.
hallway, and a
Hallway
fucking
zombies.
That's right, that's right.
an
And then-
avalanche of zombies
Yeah,
comes
like
through.
it was like a conga line. Like you said, it was like the bus out of nowhere
Yeah.
thing. Like, just bam, and it's like, cool. Guess that wasn't important that she was somebody's
Yeah.
daughter.
Like, what the fuck was that even about? Like, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Like, they're like,
There are a lot of plot threads in this movie that are brought up and resolved in the same scene.
yeah. And Carpenter, he gets shot in the stomach by Raimi, and
Yeah.
we find him later. He's still alive, and he goes to a door that has a big ass window on it, and he opens it, and there's zombies behind the door
Yep.
that kill him.
Which that happens quite a bit. People open a door all the way up, and then a
Avalanche
horde of
of
zombies
zombies.
charge out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like,
the
dude-
hallway zombies happen a couple times too. It's like,
yeah. Just
Like,
like
dude, just look to your right. Just look to your right. Just
or
listen.
use your ears.
run
Oh
down the
my
middle
God.
of the hallway.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom.
God. So okay, but back to the present. So Raimi got bit, and then we cut back, and Trucker Doctor's making some progress. He's got one of the sticks sawed
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And
He's
he's
got-
working on another one.
He's got one sawed. He's got like halfway through the second.
Yep.
He gets anxious and tries to break the second one.
yeah, but he tips over the
He
cage,
tips over and it just crumbles.
which
It
really
crumbles.
does it. Yeah.
That really
fucking-
does it.
The
And then-
fucking cage just crumbles as soon as it hits the floor. Like,
Yep.
Well, it was a structural piece of wood there.
Yeah.
that they cut.
Yeah, it was like, you know how
Yeah.
you can't squeeze an
Load
egg
bearing.
from one angle, but you can crush an egg from the other angle.
Yeah,
some
it's-
shit like that. Yeah.
So they
So-
start. This is one of the more brutal deaths, and
Yeah.
I think the
This
effects
was-
on this one were really good.
Yeah.
Yes, this was one of the money on screen moments.
Yeah,
so he
definitely.
starts getting ripped to absolute shit, which was like, I mean, it looked like that scene in, was it Return of the Living Dead? I'm thinking
Day
of
of the Dead.
where Day of the Dead. Shit, I need to
Day
watch.
of the
I
Dead.
actually haven't seen
Yeah.
those movies. So
where
we do
Rhodes
need to
gets
watch those
where
sometimes.
Rhodes gets ripped apart.
Yeah, and Bub salutes him.
yeah.
Like I haven't
Yeah.
seen the movie, but that's a really famous scene.
But
But
yeah,
you haven't seen Day of the Dead, but you've watched The Dead Next Door.
I know. This
not
is-
many can say
Hold
that,
on,
and
hold on.
I too am one of those. You know, I haven't
Oh
to
my
be fair,
gone through yet.
to be fair, you guys made me watch this.
Well, I want to watch you guys watch the Romero's. Jesus,
I do. Yeah, I do want to watch
Day of
those
the Dead's
old
like one of
school.
my favorite
Yeah.
zombie movies ever.
Maybe Cult of Zombie.
There we
There's a
go.
new one we can
There we
do.
go.
Cult of Zombie.
But yeah, so the cage dissolves
Yep.
like toilet paper, and,
And
then
he
there's
loses his hat.
Yep.
He's
Yeah.
very concerned about his
Mercer
hat.
takes his hat.
Yeah.
Mercer
When
takes
the
his hat
zombies are already pulling him
into
to
pieces.
pieces, like fucking confetti. He's just like, "Give me back my hat! Not my hat. It took me so long to figure out how to spell all them words."
Yeah, because fucking Mercer takes the hat and walks outside, and
With
it's
his
raining.
tongue too.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got
yeah,
his
he-
tongue.
yeah,
He
he
pulls
pulls
his
out
tongue
his
out.
tongue.
Yeah.
He's like, you talk too much.
Yeah.
And he walks outside, and it's raining, and we see the Sharpie from the hat is just running all
yeah.
the way down it.
And we're like, he's gonna put on the hat. That's his moment.
Yep.
And then Culler helps Raimi into the car, and they share one last look. And then Mercer puts the hat down by his side and takes a big bite out of the tongue.
Yep.
Super wasted opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Just a
then,
big, juicy bite.
Collar and Raimi drive off. We're
Yep.
back in DC. We hear like some dialogue of like, "Oh, I gave him the serum. It doesn't
Yep.
looks like the not going great or whatever."
Yep.
Yeah.
She's like, "What? You gave him the serum?"
And then fucking Raimi zombie pops up
Yep.
and he's like, "Can't you do anything right?" And he fucking kills Dr. Savini.
Yep.
Because he's
just
all
kills him straight up.
zombified
And then Vox pops up behind Collar and bites her.
for
Yeah.
just out of
he
nowhere.
was.
Oh, that was out of nowhere.
Yeah. I was thinking, like, where the fuck did this zombie
Yeah,
come
yeah,
I
from?
thought
I
it
was
came
like,
out of
where the
nowhere
fuck
too.
did that
I
one
didn't
come
realize
from?
it was Vox. Yeah.
And then
nice
Yeah.
little dolly zoom.
and then we cut to just
Just like
the
Collar?
lower half of he's like Collar. And then we cut to the lower half of, I'm presuming, Raimi
Yeah.
walking up to the zombie patrolmobile.
Right.
But the zombie is crossed out with blood, and it now says human,
Human
patrol.
squad.
Yeah, human squad.
Human
squad.
squad.
Look, your zombies hunting humans now.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
it's never happened before.
And then they drive off through a horde of zombies.
Yep. And there's just bustling traffic out.
Yep,
Yeah.
off in the distance.
Just in the distance.
clearly a day in the middle of metropolitan Akron.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
Thankfully.
we start getting some like Predator sitcom credits where
Yep.
and they're really fucking long. I didn't sit and watch all of them, but apparently there was a plot detail revealed that I didn't get.
Oh, is that right?
So, well, yeah, because
Yeah,
Jason was
Jason was the first
infected.
person that got killed.
Oh, that's
that very
right.
important plot
Yeah.
thread that the movie
Yes.
didn't make sense without. So
Yes.
yeah, Jesus Christ,
And
that
then
was the Dead Next Door.
Thankfully, it's over. An
Yeah.
hour and 18 minutes.
An hour and 18 minutes.
It felt
And
like
you
a
felt
fucking
all
2-hour
of
long movie.
It did feel
Felt
real.
all of them. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was the Dead Next Door, which is it is barely a Bruce Campbell movie.
No.
Yeah, which is gonna make it kind of rough when we get into the quality of Campbell.
I really feel like this is like one of those movies where we're working. This is we
Yep.
we did a movie for you because this is we could have easily called this not a Bruce Campbell movie. We did it for the sake of doing it, and
Right.
I feel like we did some
Yep.
work. I didn't
Well,
feel like I enjoyed it that much.
We should get into the next segment then.
That's
Let's
right.
do it.
We'll talk
Yep.
about the quality of Campbell.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
So, Ty, what do you think the quality of Campbell was in this?
This is where it's hard to judge. It's really hard. It's a weird movie to like judge because it's a Bruce Campbell movie like in like the I guess the
He's listed as
He's
starring
listed as
in.
the star.
Yeah, he's listed as starring in.
and I mean the guy they got, I think his name was like
oh,
Pete Ferry. I think is what his
I
name
think
was.
that was it.
I don't
I think that's his real name. I think that's his real name.
Well,
It sounds like a
someone
joke name, like
fact check.
fucking Pete Ferry. Like it sounds like a joke name. I think his name was Pete Ferry.
We're gonna look that up just to be
But,
sure.
Sure, Ian's on it. Ian's on it.
But like there was some parts where he like kind of I guess embodied Bruce a little bit, and like it was super weird. But Bruce is just reading lines. There's one line I liked where he is about to shoot Vincent as Vincent's running away. He's like, "Here's looking at you, kid," and then he shoots him with the shotgun. That's the only like real Bruce Campbell-y moment I feel like we got in this movie. And I mean, combined with the lack of Campbell, and the quality of the film, I'm going to say that this is not groovy.
All right.
Which is a good time for me to jump in and mention that you're right. It is Pete Ferry.
Pete Ferry. You fucking
Ferry.
Pete Ferry.
Damn it, Pete
What
Ferry.
are you doing here?
Pete. Jeez,
Yeah, look at you, look like a fucking Pete Ferry over there.
Yeah. Boy, not groovy. I mean,
Just right off the bat.
dude, like, here's the thing. Alien Apocalypse was a movie that I would have absolutely fucking hated to watch by myself, but it was a blast watching with you guys
Right.
riffing on it. And this one was fun, but like also really rough. Like I realized when I was going through the plot recap, I was like, this is so disjointed that I'm having a lot more trouble than usual remembering some of these plot points, because they would literally come up out of nowhere and then just be resolved.
Well,
they're like, hey, we put some shit in the zombie's neck and now he talks. And it's like, okay, cool, thanks. And then he popped up later for a brief, and I didn't even know that was him until you said that, Urs.
You
Tyler
bring,
said it. I didn't know either.
you bring
I
up
was just confused, man.
you bring up
Or,
Alien
yeah.
Apocalypse, and like Alien Apocalypse is one of those movies that would have been god awful had it not been for Bruce Campbell.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because he's on screen.
And
chewing the scenery and hamming it
doing
up.
his Bruce thing.
Yeah.
But in this, we get Bruce's voice through the whole thing, but it's not even like Bruce being like,
It's
Bruce.
ADR for
It's
another
ADR.
character, so he couldn't even do
so-
that much.
someone
with it.
set him down, set a script down in front of him, and set him in a sound booth. He read dialogue, and that's what it is.
Yeah. It's not
Bruce
I
couldn't
mean,
say
yeah.
this one.
Yeah, Alien Apocalypse, he was on screen. He got to ham it up. He got to be, I mean, he knew what kind of movie he was in Alien Apocalypse, and he acted accordingly. And in this movie, just doing some ADR over another dude's performance, not even anywhere close to being salvageable. Like, this movie was fucking garbage. It was, if it was, let's go 45 minutes shorter, I probably would have fucking loved it. But between every laugh out loud, hilarious moment and stupid line delivery, there was just so much where it was just like, what the fuck is even going on?
Right.
This is so repetitive. Yeah.
And like Doc Trucker Hat, like he got that really nice death at the end. And I feel like that was supposed to be like a satisfying moment, but they didn't
Right.
build the character up enough to where it was like, yeah, finally our big villain's getting his comeuppance. It
That
wasn't
should've
even
been the
like
Reverend.
that. Yeah,
That
it
was
should've
the
been the
Reverend's
Reverend. It
death.
should have been the
been
Reverend's
the
death.
Reverend. You're right.
Because at least it was made a point. It was consistent through the film that he was the villain.
Yeah.
Whereas Doc Trucker Hat just kind of like became a villain because he made a mistake, which I guess maybe that's a callback to his hat. I don't fucking know. Maybe that's the point of the whole fucking hat thing. I don't know. But but it was just so it was disjointed. I mean, Ian was right. It's so disjointed.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Urs?
I think the hat was like just super on the nose.
We're not doing the
character-
quality of two hats.
The hat was just like a super like on the nose. This character's like a conceited cunt.
Yeah.
As far as like the quality of Campbell goes, I mean, I had fun watching this movie at points, but it was like Ian said, there's just so much shit in between. Like I feel like I could watch like a highlight reel of this
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
Of the funny shit in this
A
movie.
15-minute highlight reel of this movie
Yeah.
would be goddamn hilarious.
Yeah,
I
it'd be
love
great.
that.
That would be perfect.
That's all you
But
need.
there's just so much in the movie that's like it doesn't make any fucking sense. Or like there's so many plot holes. The plot is just so spongy,
Yeah.
and it's just like I don't understand what the guy was even thinking when he was writing.
Oh, huff and coke.
You know, it's like he was just making up stuff as he went, and like
Stephen King
yes.
snorts coke every day, and he's a fucking
Yeah, he's
genius.
just picking directors, and now we'll have this character and this
Right.
character.
and it was just like none of it made any fucking sense at all. It's like why do they got to go to Akron to get a zombie? Because it's like an OG zombie to test the serum on it when they have zombies like right outside, but then it doesn't really matter anyway because they can give the serum to Mercer, who is a new zombie. None of
Yeah.
it make any sense. And it's not even like, honestly, I probably wouldn't even have known Bruce Campbell was in this if I didn't see that Bruce Campbell was in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few times where I could definitely tell it's his voice, but if I didn't know that ahead of time, I don't think I would have known it.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I mean, like I said, I think this movie would be a good highlight reel for someone's special effects reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe if you want to like cut this up into little pieces and throw it on YouTube as like a try not to laugh.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's it's good for that. But other than that, I gotta say not groovy.
Not
Yeah.
groovy. Okay.
How you feel, Eric?
All right. Well, obviously, I'm gonna agree that this movie is just not great. not great at all. But looking at the quality of Campbell in this movie, for the most part, we just get his voice. Like we said, there's a little snippet of another movie that he did that just shows up in this movie.
It's a better movie.
It's definitely a better movie.
Yeah, don't
Absolutely.
remind like your audience of a better movie than your shitty movie.
Right.
Don't do that.
So
Like, that's always that's like a bad thing to do with these like name callbacks. Like
Yeah.
like you're reminding these people of like a better filmmaker.
Yeah, I
Or,
want
like,
to turn your movie off
Yeah.
and go watch.
yeah,
Day of the Dead.
right.
Like at the beginning when it shows the VHSs of all the
Yeah.
better zombie movies. Like, what are you doing?
Because wasn't a character named Romero at some point? too?
Yeah, there was a Romero,
yeah,
there's a
Raimi.
Raimi, there's a King,
Carpenter.
Carpenter.
One of the homages is like when the like you said the zombies. He's renting fucking VHSs.
yeah.
It's like zombie movies VHSs, and it's like, God,
What?
why? That's just so cringy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
So we can all definitely agree that this movie is just not fucking great. And the Campbell that we get in it, we get his voice, and occasionally they seem to shoot the angles that they shoot that Raimi character on. At certain points, it seems almost like they're trying to shoot Bruce Campbell.
I know, like
You know,
there's
they give him
a
some power
big moments at
poses
the
and-
end, like before they're getting ready to do the
It
big
feels
infiltration.
like
He's gotta-
this movie and that role were written to be Bruce Campbell movies, and then they couldn't get him until later. They
Yeah,
were like,
when
well,
he could
but I
fill
guess
in
we
the
can get him
audio.
to do a voice.
So-
So they wanted him on screen.
89 he'd have been doing Evil Dead 2. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he was probably busy.
Evil Dead 2 probably getting ready to do Army of Darkness,
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Oh, there you go. So thank God he was too busy to do this one. But so they, and they had a guy, we kind of got a chin. It was not the chin.
No.
That character did have a bit of a chin on him.
This guy could have been like Bruce
Yeah.
Campbell's stunt double and stuff, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
so,
feel like
so we've got some of Bruce Campbell's.
Brent Campbell.
We've got
Bruce
some.
Campbell.
We've got some Bruce Campbell like one-liners, and we've got about a low quality Campbell chin in there, and that's about. It kind of just speaks to how much charisma he brings to the screen when you
Yeah.
watch him.
Yeah.
It shows us kind of what we're missing when you don't have any good writing or Sam Raimi directing or Bruce Campbell on the screen.
right.
Yeah.
And just compared to some of its other stuff, and I'm even sure there are movies out there where he's just lent his voice to them and they've turned out amazing because he's got such an amazing
Yeah.
voice.
But
And they
he's-
didn't do
he's-
anything to showcase his
Yeah,
voice
he's
in
not
this.
trying to talk over another person's performance, though.
Right.
It's-
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah, 'cause
very
he
true.
does. He does there's a number of animated films he does. He does
I
quite a few
Right,
animated
yeah.
things.
And I imagine those are pretty entertaining. 'cause
But I
they
mean,
can-
this right here, just like I said, like you could tell, like the dialogue he was reading, he was not
Nah.
into. It was like he was given a script and set in a sound booth for a day, and like here,
Yeah.
get this
Yeah.
out.
So
I
they-
would favor this guy. We're producing this movie, whatever.
I imagine it was something like here's like 7K. Read this.
yeah,
And he's like, okay, I'll do that.
It's
Yeah.
for your buddy Sam. I love Sam.
yeah.
So he didn't really have much of a chance to kind of get his own charisma into the screen in this one. So
Yeah.
like just kind of all those things considered, we're just missing. Obviously, we're missing a lot of what makes a Bruce Campbell performance. And I'm gonna have to give this like a really hard, not groovy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's-
feel like is that I gave it not groovy.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Is that
that's
unanimous?
that's
That's unanimous.
Pretty
That's,
sure that's
a unanimous
definitely-
across the board.
Yeah.
not groovy.
I don't know if we have like a rating for like a unanimous. We have like a certified groovy for the unanimous
Yeah.
groovies. We have groovy for majority groovy.
How about
Yeah.
straight up butthole?
Yeah. So I guess it'd be like just certified not
Yeah.
groovy. This is our first
Certified.
this is our certified not groovy.
Certified, not
yeah,
groovy.
certified not great. Because I don't know. I think Ursa said it best. Like a 15-minute like highlight reel on YouTube would be fucking primo.
Just
Yeah.
somebody make a
Yeah.
try not to laugh video
right.
with
Yeah. There's
this movie.
so many moments when the dude got the machete in the shoulder. He just goes, oh.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
But the effects are like top notch. Like they're
Yeah,
great practical effects.
I would like
Yeah.
to know like who did these effects and what they did after this movie because I'm
Right.
guessing that they went on to do better things. Because
Yeah.
I would hope.
Oh
the
yeah,
some of the effects are really really good.
And some of
Yeah.
the effects gags, like the headless zombie biting the guy's fingers off and it coming out of the
Oh,
neck
yeah.
throat.
Right. Yeah.
That
yeah.
that was a pretty funny little gag.
Especially for like when this movie was made, the
Yeah,
effects
yeah.
are really nice.
but
Yes.
even the things that everything we're talking about this movie, just like even the bad stuff that like was so bad it's good, like it just did not. This is not a good Bruce Campbell movie.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
I think if you're a fan of Bruce Campbell, I don't think that this is a movie that you may enjoy it, but I think there's a large portion of
Yeah.
people that are just like not going to get
No.
satisfaction out of this. As a
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell
Probably
movie.
pass on this one.
Yeah,
So there you have. We have a certified
Yeah.
not groovy across the board. 4 out of 4 not groovy. do not recommend.
Although, please let us know what you think.
So what do you think? Like, was the I don't know. Like, it's such a bizarre movie though. Like, I'm almost more intrigued with just like the behind the camera stuff on this thing because like Sam Raimi produces it, but under a fake name.
Right, he did not put his real name on this.
Oh yeah, what was
Bruce,
his stage name?
The
again?
Master Cylinder.
Yeah.
So he produced under like a fake name. Bruce Campbell does the whole ADR of the movie and does it uncredited.
Oh yeah, that's right. Huh.
And I mean, I just don't understand like what the purpose was. Like, what was it? Like, at what point during the production of this film was it said like, "Hey, Pete Ferry, you're not doing the voice. We're putting Bruce Campbell in there." Like,
That's what I would like to know. Like, what?
Well, this is my big break.
It really seems to me
what do you
like
mean I'm not doing the voice? That's what he sounds
I
like.
don't know, like
Go on, Ursa.
I don't know, like what their shooting schedule is like. But it seemed to me like sometimes they knew that Bruce Campbell was going to be voicing, and sometimes they didn't.
Yeah, because sometimes when Pete Ferry makes a decision like that, like right before they go in for the infiltration scene to like get Mercer back, there's like a shot of Raimi getting out of the car, and it's shot like an Ash Williams like hero shot.
Right.
Like he even does like a little like shoulder shrug thing, like Bruce does, and he straightens his back up and pulls his shotgun out. You know, it's like it looks like Bruce. It's like a Bruce moment, but it's fucking Pete Ferry.
Yeah.
Goddamn Pete Ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to know more about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're cutting all my lines? Like, have somebody else do my voice. What do you mean? Oh, jeez, I thought I sounded like a real hard.
Are you doing a Darth Vader on me? You're getting James Earl Jones, aren't you? What? You're getting Bruce Campbell.
God damn it.
What's his voice got on me?
All right. So real quick before we wrap up, I went on IMDb and I found like the head of the special effects for this movie.
Okay.
And yeah, Ursa nailed it. This dude went on to do some like good shit.
Ooh, laid on us.
So it looks like he didn't start. He arguably started with this.
Right.
But
That's fine.
he worked on, I'm not going to read the roles out, but he worked on Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3,
Okay.
Tremors.
Oh.
Let's see. One of the Puppet
man.
Master movies. Another
Okay.
Puppet Master movie. People Under the Stairs. Sleepwalkers.
Yeah.
Let's see. There were a couple more that I recognized. Sounds of the Hams. Jesus.
What was his name? Did we get his name?
Oh yeah, I guess I could say that. David P. Barton.
David P. Barton. Good work, sir.
Yeah, very good work.
Let's see. Apocalypto 300.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah,
This dude
so,
is
like,
still like active.
you were
in the
right.
big
So that
stuff.
this dude
this guy
went on to
places.
because
At least somebody did.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
your work,
right.
his work really shows in this.
Yeah,
that was definitely the highlight of
for
this
that
movie.
era.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
At least I read like this, like that's like one of the only memorable things this movie. So this movie's known for is like the effects work. And
Oh,
the
is that
gore.
right? Well, there we go. Yeah,
Gore
there you
effects.
have it.
Good job, David P. Barton. You did the best shit in this movie.
The,
Yes,
the
By a long
writer,
shot.
director, and producer. You should, take maybe a writing class.
Now here's something. It's like
Open up a baby name book.
because like I always like to try to do a conversation at some point.
Uh-huh.
Would you guys enjoy this movie had it been Bruce on screen?
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
If Bruce
it would
had
have
been
improved this.
on screen
Yeah.
and able to give us that eyebrow, that chin, the charisma, he probably would have come up with some better ones.
He probably would have been like more in his element, like instead of
Yeah.
reading from a
Yeah.
script. 'Cause
I
feel
think it
that's
would have
what
been like Alien Apocalypse. He would have
Yeah,
been able to
right.
like ham it up and be like, okay, I get what this is.
because he would have known what it was.
I think it would have been a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
yeah,
I
there you
can
have it.
imagine like some banter between him and Mercer, Zombie Mercer and stuff. I guess seeing it being a lot more fun had he been there, because we would have gotten that Bruce quality, that element, that Bruce factor.
Right, that Bruce factor.
Yeah,
Right
Yeah.
there.
I
on screen.
would actually go as far as to say if we did that and like 10 or 15 more polishes to the script, this would have been a really good movie.
I see like what they were. I see what they were going for. Like the movie has kind of like a scope to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
they
I
did build an interesting world.
yeah, like I
There
bet
were
one.
interesting
I
elements.
bet here in a few years when like the Netflix series comes out for it, the reboot of Netflix series, I bet they'll be able to add some interesting stuff into it.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure they will.
Yeah,
I wonder if
they've
it's
got
I wonder if this is one of those
Cult
random
zombies.
properties that'll pop up here in a few years, like
yeah,
because it does have a little bit of cult notoriety. I don't know. Just
Right.
wonder if it will be one of those things. But no, I think had Bruce been on screen as Raimi, that would have been much better.
oh yeah, definitely.
So-
That would have brought some life to this movie. That
Yeah,
I think it really
it'd been like Ian said, like it'd been like an alien apocalypse where
Yeah,
you've got this dredge of a movie, but you got Bruce in there just like
that makes it fun.
just
enough
floating to
sit
the surface,
through.
yeah.
yeah.
because he can really own a role once he's in it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
that do it.
Yeah, I think that.
So I think So this has been Call to Campbell talking about the zombies next door. Was that the name of the,
The Dead
movie?
Next Door.
The
Dead
Dead
Next
Door.
How
did we forget
Mercer? How did we forget Mercer?
God damn it! I look to see him like, fuck! like he left his keys. Like, God damn it, we gotta go back. Why? I left fucking Mercer back at the damn school.
So you could let us know what you thought of this fabulous film. You can check us out on all the social media networks, but Twitter.
Me no do Twitter.
At Cult Talk Net.
Let us know what you guys think of the Dead Next Door, because I'd be interested to hear like what people think of this movie, especially especially like the Campbellites. Like,
Yeah.
what are your guys' opinion of the Dead Next Door? Do you consider it a Bruce Campbell movie? I'd be interested in even hearing like that
That's a
opinion.
good question.
Yeah. All right.
So let us know. And until next time, stay groovy.
Stay groovy.
Never fuck with the king. That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.